Hello, it's day 116 of the Liberator project, and as I've not been feeling very well, as you know, for the last few days, what I'm going to do today is to do a series of tests on myself. Now, I've got no medical qualifications. I did study an MSc in medical electronics, but that was all to do with image processing. Now, as I've been ill, I had my immune problem, I have picked up a working knowledge of medicine and tests just for my own condition and my own situation. So I don't know what it means to anyone else other than myself. But what I thought I'd do today is go through tests you can buy online, you can do them at home, and it just puts your mind at rest. You find out what's wrong with yourself. So, right. At the moment in Watford, it's absolutely daft. If you want to see a doctor, it's basically a 3-week appointment, and then they'll talk to you on the telephone. So if I waited to see a doctor, I'd have to go, take ages to see them. You'd get a phone call, then go to hospital. It would take literally weeks to get a blood test, whereas you can buy them online. They're not expensive, and you can do them yourself. They're very, very self-explanatory. So what I thought I'd do is I'd go through a series of medical tests and show you how easy it is. And if you're feeling a bit under par, you can do them yourself and put your mind at rest. Now, first thing is, if I'm in a bathroom, you've seen my bathroom before with my wonderful dead fish and my wonderful tessellation that I did. Yes. There's a theme. Okay, a bathroom, probably not the most hygienic place because I've also got my toilet here. So before you start drawing blood or anything, it's sensible to make sure you're clean. Now, wash your hands, certainly. But what I've done is I've actually just had a shower because bit of a germaphobe, but also why not? And it's probably why my eyes are a bit sore, and anyway. And the other thing is clean everything. So what I've got here is I've cleaned up. You can see now, Cif is not just good. It's not just good for vehicles. It is actually good for cleaning your bathroom. And depending on how much of a germaphobe you are, you can use different germ killers to remove the germs from your situation. This is a TV remote, by the way. Don't worry about that. Okay, and also as it's actually due tomorrow, but I will endeavour, as I'm doing medical tests, I will actually give myself my antibody injection. Now, I don't usually have to do these all one-handed, so it's going to be a bit of a mess, but bear with me, the camera work's probably going to be no worse than it normally is. So you've seen me do injections before, but this is basically a monoclonal antibody. It affects CD4 and CD13 of my antigen sites. It basically stops me having autoimmunity all the time. So let's just do this. Just pick that up later. Now, usually I do that into my chest or my abdomen, but as I couldn't possibly do that one-handed, I'm just doing my arm here. It stings a bit going in the arm rather than the stomach, but you get used to it. I hated injections, but you get used to these things after a while. That's the truth of it. Once you've done it a couple of dozen times, really, it's. What is it? Ultimately, it's just basically, as much pain as jabbing a needle into your skin. That's really, in the scale of things, that's not a lot. And it does mean that I don't have to take steroids or chemotherapy or stay in hospital. So, there we go. That's it's spring-loaded. Right, I'm treated. Now we can go through some tests I've got. Now, I'm not really a hypochondriac, honestly. I have been very ill when I'm not feeling well. I don't do this every week. I only do this when I'm feeling very bad. Something that you can get yourself is digital thermometer. This is, £3 on eBay. You just stick it under your tongue and it gives you a temperature. Typically, you're about 37 degrees. It doesn't matter if you're a little bit colder than that, but if you get up to like 38, it means your body's over temperature, which is usually a symptom of you having some sort of viral infection. And that's because viruses don't do very well in higher temperatures. So your natural defense mechanism of your body is raise your temperature, kills off the viruses. So it's actually not the virus that makes you feel grotty, it's your actually body reacting and stopping the virus. So that's, anyway, I'm not going to do that now because I've done it earlier. My temperature was spot on, and it's you can do that yourself. It's not a big thing. Now, the next thing I've been going to look at is my blood sugar level. or glucose per litre mole, whatever it is. And this whole kit, not a hypochondriac, this whole kit cost me $14.37, and that's enough for 50 tests. So that's absolutely fine. Now what you get is you get the little needles that prick your skin to get you some blood, you get the reaction strips, and you get the device to actually draw blood. So there's enough here for 50 tests. It's basically, what, 30 pence a test? Well, if you're worried about diabetes or worried that you've got no energy or you're feeling low, let's just do it. It's so easy. Right, what you have to do, you have to unscrew this cap and put a new needle in it. You take the cap off this needle, then you reassemble this. Now there's a little dial on it that tells you how deep you want the needle to go. 3 is normal skin, and that's worked on me. You know, if you're trying to do it, I don't know, on your elbow or sole of your foot or something daft, you might have to go up to 5. And if you're a real wuss, you know, go for a 1. But 3 is fine. You pull this back, it's spring loaded. Then all you do is put it on your hand, and it's spring loaded. So let's see if I can do this one-handed without dropping the mobile phone. Okay, so you see the cap, it goes on here. There's a little push button. Here we go. Ouch. And that's it. That's all, you know. It's a little pin prick. What I'm doing now is I'm massaging my finger to try and get some more blood out, because I might have to, come on. I might have to set it deeper than 3 actually, unfortunately, but I'm not bleeding enough. Okay. Well, I'm getting a little bit of blood out. Hopefully that's enough. Right, on the meter, you put in one of the test strips. Push that down. So I can do this. Right, your meter comes to life. When it's ready, it just tells you to, can you see this? It just tells you to put a drop of blood in it. Let's put some blood on it. Hopefully that's enough blood. No, it still wants more blood. Oh, I've got to... need more blood, hang on. Try again. Right, all I'm doing is running the blood over the test strip. Come on. How much blood do you need? Nope, still needs more blood. Hope it's working. I'm gonna... Oh no, are you doing anything? No, okay, I need more blood. Yes, there's blood dripping down my arm, but not enough for the test meter. Come on. Yes, there we are. At last it's got enough blood. And then it just takes sort of 5 seconds. It counts down. Can you read that display? I don't know if you can see it here. Can you see that? It said my blood level is 4.7 micromoles per litre. That's well within the safe range. So that's reassuring. I'll clean up, oh God, I'll clean up all the blood in a bit. Let's not worry about that. That was a bit of an unforeseen problem. But anyway, so blood sugar level's fine. Now that's good, because that basically is, I haven't eaten. So that's what I'd expect, that sort of range. You can look it up online, but it means I haven't got diabetes from my blood sugar. So that's fantastic. Right, I'm not hypochondriac. Right, next test. This is thyroid test. £3.48 online. It's got blood running down my finger. Right, you can do it yourself. It takes like 12 minutes or so to do the test. It's really easy. What you do is you wash your hands or have a shower. Then you use this antiseptic swab, which I'm going to use to try and mop up some of the blood here. Right. Okay, well that's not very successful. Right, right, back to professional. You get the antiseptic swab, clean yourself and the site, your fingertip. Then you use one of these. Now this is, again, it's just a one-off disposable needle. You basically push this down, it fires a needle into your skin, just so it's a way of pricking yourself and getting your blood. And again, you just need a drop of blood. Now you use this little micro pipette. You don't squeeze it, you just put that onto the site to where the blood is, and then capillary action draws up the blood you know, up to, well, it says a mark there, but you don't need that much. You need a couple of drops of blood. Right, once you've got your blood, you put 2 drops of blood onto this, what do they call this? Oh God, antibody reaction chamber. And onto that site, 2 drops of blood. Then you add 2 drops of this, which is some sort of base solvent to, you know, dilute it and make it work on the tests. And you wait 10 minutes, and then basically it's very easy. You get a line appear on the C, which means it's worked, the test has worked. And if you've got thyroid problems, you've got an overactive thyroid, you get an extra line there. So that's good. No problems with my thyroid. So another test, top notch. Now, I've got to say that, excuse me, all medical stuff is pretty disgusting and revolting, to be honest. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's far too biological for me, which is why I much prefer doing engineering and computers and electronics and mathematics, because it's cleaner. I don't like all this. It's too organic. That's the problem. But you were warned. This test, you know, this is going on. This is medical testing, so yes, it is going to get quite revolting. Now, the next test. Now, this is going to test out my liver and kidney functions. So, what you have to do is you have to wee into a little pot, which I'm not going to show you because, you know, there's limits to what I'm prepared to do for this channel. You wee into a little jar. You then get these test strips. Now, there's 15 strips here. It cost me $3.69, and these test for 10 different things. So, what a bargain if you're a hypochondriac, which I'm not. Right, you put the strip into the urine for exactly a minute. Use a little timer to do that. And then you take it out, and all you have to do is to compare the colours of the reagent sites with the charts you get. See, it's not easy to do one-handed, but as I've said. So there you go. This is the test and results. Now, if you look, the first thing is leukocytes, which is basically white cells. Now that means if you've got leukocytes in your urine, it probably means you've got an infection because you've white cells in there. Now then the next one is nitrite. Don't know what that means, but it's on the it's on the right colour, so I'm happy. Right. The next one is Urobilinogen. Again, I don't know what that is, but it's on the safe zone, so we're good there. So that's fine. I'm happy with that. And then we've got proteins. Now, you really want proteins in your urine. That probably is a sign that you've got infection or you've got something shedding in your bladder or something unpleasant. So proteins in your urine, not good. But I was again spot on the right colour. That's all I need. You know, that's what I'm looking for. Let's not get too technical. It's got the right colour on the chart. I'm happy. I'm normal. Okay. Next one is pH. Obviously, that's how acidic, how many free hydrogen ions are in your urine. And typically you want it to have slightly acidic because it's uric acid, isn't it? So it's about 5. And this swab has faded a bit. It was actually 5. So again, so that's another test passed. Right, then the next test is for blood. Obviously, if you've got blood in your urine, that's a bad sign. But no, don't have blood in my urine, so that's fantastic. Now, the next one is a bit of a worry. This is your specific density of your urine. So basically how concentrated it is. And if you look, it should be dark blue. And my one it's actually bright yellow. So it's actually off the chart. Now that, if you've got properly functioning, properly dense urine, that should have a specific gravity of 1. Now, I'm off the chart, so that's at least 1.030, probably, you know, 0.04. That's quite worryingly high. Now, that's a symptom that my adrenal glands shot to hell. Now, I suspect that was the case. Well, I've known that's been the case for a while. And that's because I had, 12 years taking really high doses of prednisolone and steroids, and that has completely screwed up my endocrine system. So the fact my adrenal gland is so, well, that suggests my adrenal gland is completely screwed, which is very worrying, and I'm going to have to book a proper appointment to get that looked at with an endocrinologist, because that is well out of the that is off the chart. So it's well out of a range where I'm happy with it, and say my adrenal gland has got considerably worse than last time I did any of these tests. I'm not hypochondriac, but you know, I don't. Anyway, so that's a bit of a worry. Next test, ketones. That's if you're burning protein rather than fat. Use that for your Atkins diet. You know, it's basically Atkins, you eat lots of protein and you burn fats off your body. That's the plan. That was absolutely fine because I'm not on any diet at the moment. You know, obviously I'm just eating what I want, so that's fine. Next, it's bilirubin. Not exactly sure what that is either, but it's fine. And the last one, which was the one I was a bit concerned to test, was glucose. And again, my blood glucose level's absolutely spot on. My glucose in my urine's absolutely spot on. So that means no diabetes, good. Which means the specific gravity is pretty much certainly due to my adrenal gland being broken. So that's bad, but better than diabetes, I think. You know, but okay, next test. Now, because I've had horrible indigestion for a fortnight, I got this test. Now, this is for testing if you've got an ulcer. A little bit more expensive, you know, it's $5.89, but you know, it's, you know, you can do these tests yourself in your bathroom, and it just sets your mind at rest. Now, because I've had this, I don't, you know, it's been better today, but I've had this horrible acidic feeling for a while. I thought I'd test if I had a stomach ulcer. Now, this is a horrible test. I mean, I'm not going to do this on camera. Those of a squeamish disposition, turn off now. But, you know, this is medicine and biology, and it's all organic and revolting. So what you have to do, I'm afraid, to test for a stomach ulcer is to get a sample of your feces. So in other words, what you do is you put this, the kit gives you all the bits you need, and I haven't done it yet, obviously. You stick this stool sample collector over your toilet seat, you stick it down, and then you basically have a dump on the paper. So it's and then you stab it a number of times, at least 3 times from 3 different places with this reaction chamber, and that takes a sample of the right size of your, well, let's be blunt, of your poo basically. You put it back together, you shake it, and then very much like before, you drop it into one of these antigen reaction chambers, the revolting sludge. And that, again, it's got sort of antibody polymerase reaction or something like that inside it. It's an antigen, basically, it's an antigen. And that, again, it gives you a very simple, one line will be control and the other one will be positive if you have a stomach ulcer. Now, I will do that test later today, once I've not on, you know, and I'll put the results down below. But, you know, it's a good test to do. Now, there's other things I've got now. I've ordered a new blood pressure monitor, and it does pulse rate and oxygen levels in your blood. I'm not hypochondriac, but that hasn't arrived. That'll arrive next week. So, you know, that's useful as well when you're exercising, to see how unfit you are and see what your pulse rate does and what your blood pressure does when you're jogging. So, but I'm not so concerned about that, because my last few tests, my blood pressure was absolutely perfect. You know, 120/80, which is extremely good. And my resting pulse was okay. Used to be really good when I was like running half marathons and doing karate, but it's still okay. So that's not also a concern. And also in the same sort of convenient medical testing kits, you can get things like cholesterol and anemia. There's a whole selection you can get, but I'm pretty certain I don't have anemia, and I'm pretty certain the last time the doctor tested my cholesterol levels, they were extremely good. So I'm not worried about that. The only thing the tests have revealed to me that I should be worried about is my my adrenal gland, which is far worse than I was expecting. So that's today's battery of medical tests. I hope you found it interesting. And if you feel, you know, you're not quite right, there's something wrong with you, I recommend you go online, buy these tests. You know, this is what are we talking here? You know, it's 30, 40 pounds worth of medical tests, and you can put your mind at rest and feel a lot better for it. And also then you can phone up your doctor and actually tell them what you know, rather than having to go to your doctor, go to hospital, have a blood test, get results, you know, and waste time. You can phone up the doctor or make an appointment and say, look, my blood sugar level's wrong or my adrenal level's wrong. You can actually give them more specific information so they're already primed. They won't believe you. I mean, that's what I found. They don't believe you at all. They will make you do the tests as well, but at least you're doing tests that are worthwhile rather than just doing, you know, all these tests in hospital. So anyway, I hope you found that useful today. And I'm not a hypochondriac, but there we are. Medical testing in luxury of your own bathroom. Thanks very much. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.